always was stressed out about pinball all the time. I only had so many dollars I could spend.
That
and
also
my
made it
mom
fun.
wouldn't give me any more.
Nowadays-
So every game was like fucking important.
Yeah.
You know?
Made it fun,
and now
though.
I can like, new game again.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, yeah, we totally
Fuck
had
you,
that.
Mom.
Yeah.
They made it fun in the same way that having a single Nilla wafer made the Nilla wafer good in daycare. Whereas if you had a box, if you buy
You're
a
like,
box
oh,
of
this
them
shit's
now,
nasty.
it's just a lot of like, diminishing returns in the same way that, yeah, like it is. As much as I enjoyed on Wii, it's never as fun as when I knew my dad gave me 3/4 and you go spend them how you want. Like, because then you're like, you actually care if the ball goes down the gutter.
I remember that
Yeah.
for Street Fighter because I would take my lunch money. I would skip lunch every day, come home, eat like 2 bowls of cereal because I was a fatty, and go to Stop and Go and spend my lunch money on Street Fighter. And it was like, all right, is it going to be over in 30 minutes or am I going to get like 2 hours out of this? And
Right.
like this guy walks through that is a total badass, and you're like, oh, God damn it, I'm going to lose all my money.
For me, it was like the Double Dragon kind of games, which you knew had a discrete ending, but you knew you had $3 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, okay, can I get past level 4 this time? Fuck, I didn't get it. Oh, that
Yeah.
damn Abobo.
Both of those,
Abobo's
the fighting
scary.
game thing with the equivalent of a wager on it did. It did increase the tension because it's not like you're just playing for like your rep. I mean, you'd have to leave, man. You'd be out of mind.
Yeah.
Either that or you'd be the kid who sits there pretending he's playing the track screen until some bigger kid comes by and asks you to fucking move so you can play.
Nowadays, Jeff, you should despoil yourself. My dad just recently bought a Superman pinball table.
Really?
Yeah. He
Nice.
just has it at his house.
Nice.
He plays it all he wants.
It's high maintenance though.
No.
Changing rubber bands and springs.
It doesn't have to get changed that often. He took it to a guy that's all he does is fix his old pinball tables.
Wow.
Had him fix it up. The guy even redid all the Superman artwork in it by hand.
My
And
God.
Do you think he ever
Very cool.
Do you think he ever tried to like tell your mom that they needed to have sex on the machine?
What the hell?
That's out of line, man.
My dad.
Just thinking like how like a pinball, I just imagine like someone's dad with like a Hessian like pinball machine like Gargon or whatever it was. And
It's
like,
not a Lamborghini.
He's like, he's like, honey. He's like, when I was a teenager, I always had this dream.
Dude, I don't want to think about
Well,
what
those
my parents-
dreams
You were
are
conceived on that thing, man.
Those dreams are often splayed across the table itself. I mean, how many pinball
That's so
machines
true.
have
They
this like
are, dude.
women, that Alameda pinball place is just full of all these pinball machines from the 60s and 70s that's just
Bikini
hot
babes,
women
yeah.
with like really gross looking painted faces.
That would be rad. Imagine if there was like a combination of like, how they have the beat up booths at some porn places where it's just a video screen. But what if you go into the little black closet and it's just a pinball machine and you fucking close the door behind you and you play pinball and wank?
What if?
What if,
Pinball,
John?
you definitely need 2 hands to play pinball.
Well, that's why I'm not even
They invented the
stop.
double flippers, both left and right flippers control on the left side of the game or the right.
They did?
In these booths that I invented, they do.
I was actually picturing it being more like a regular pinball machine with a built-in fleshlight.
For the coin slot. Oh, dude.
We've reached a new low.
Yeah,
with
we
this.
have.
Wow. So,
that's
have
like
you guys
so-
ever played Earthshaker? That's a pinball machine that I really enjoyed.
It sounds like the Whirlwind series.
It's
of
based on
ecological disaster.
It's actually kind of like creepy in that it was made in the 80s and it's about a giant California earthquake.
I remember.
Oh,
this.
And
I
the
don't
whole,
remember this.
The
whole thing.
board, like while you're playing, you'll hit something that'll make an earthquake happen, and depending on like how powerful the earthquake was, it'll like mess a bunch of stuff up on the board, and like
That's kind of neat.
It's really
That sounds
cool.
rad. And
Yeah.
for those people, the purists who like the really old machines when there's nothing but there's like 3 bumpers
Yeah.
and a bunch of fucking empty space and like a pornographic picture underneath. Like
I'm raising my hand over
I
there.
like
Yes.
the late
I like
ones
those.
right before like pinball industry just completely tanked where
Yeah.
they were just ridiculously convoluted mousetraps, but for that reason it was interesting in the same way
Hell
that
yeah.
like any kind of bizarre engineering
Yeah,
shit.
I like that too, but it was the next step when they felt when they had to compete with the video game machines.
And they had
that's
video
when they
tops.
lost it to me.
Like Star Wars Episode 1 pinball.
yeah, and they started
had that.
throwing, digital shit in there.
Yeah.
Like, no.